Think business advice is all the same? Think again. We're cutting through the noise and getting straight to the strategies that drive real results. You can't have your marketing be all like, maybe like bold and contrary, and then they meet the salesperson who's kind of like more academic and buttoned up. That's incongruous. It doesn't work. It needs to be consistent. Welcome to enVisioning Success. Let's get into it. Welcome back to enVisioning Success. I'm Laura DiBenedetto, joined by Julia Becker-Collins. We love doing this for you, and we actually really love doing the full 4-episode arcs because it gives us a chance to kind of bite-size the pieces and not have you sit through a really long slog that's really hard to listen to. We love doing simple, like 20-minute episodes. Sometimes they're 15, sometimes they're 25, but they're right in the 20-minute zone to keep it brief. And we always like to summarize our 4-episode arc with something that kind of brings it all together. And oh my gosh, that's happening again.
Weird.
So weird. I
like,
preach consistency.
It's like we plan this out and we know what we're doing or something.
What?
Weird.
So anywho, today is episode 72, and we're bringing it all together with the sales and marketing for seamless success. And what we really want to do is give you some thoughts around creating a cohesive, successful experience. So, yeah. Okay, this is my brain, and I'm so sorry. This is what my brain did. Cohesive is the word that came out of my mouth, but all I could hear was Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire saying adhesive when the goo fell out of his fake teeth. Don't you remember that scene?
Do you have No, I don't, but I do love that movie. It is a great movie.
Adhesive. Listen, sometimes the intrusive thoughts win, okay?
Have you seen those memes where it's like you think life is so difficult? Imagine being so dumb that you hired your ex-husband in drag to care for your children and you didn't realize it?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it was pretty good drag. But
it was great. The whole thing was great. It's a great movie, but
yep,
kind of Team Sally Field in that movie. It was a little weird.
Yeah, I will. Oh no, it's a run by fruiting. Oh no, I've killed the bastard. Okay, anyway, we're showing our age. Did you ever see that movie Sister Act?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Yes, hi, we're both right over 40. Thank you very much.
Yeah. 100%. Elder millennial right here.
You get that ucky word out of your mouth.
I am the elderest of millennials. I'm the first year.
I think don't they call us like Zennials or something because we're like right on the cusp because there was like a 4-year window where like we did not grow up with technology, but we also adapted to it very, very young. So we're probably the last generation that like actually played in the dirt and the sun as children.
Mm-hmm. But now sometimes they call it, so sometimes they call it Generation Y and sometimes it's Zennials, but yeah.
I, for one, I'm happy to be of that generation where I still had a childhood, but I get to have all the tech toys.
Yeah, I will say that I didn't know how to use PowerPoint until graduate school because I didn't know how to use it until then. Nobody ever used it.
Oh, here's one for you, Julia, who always mocks me for putting two spaces after a period. I learned that in typing class on a typewriter in school. So they were like, always, boop, boop.
Yes, I learned it as well. And then in college, somebody younger than me had to teach me to only do one space.
Well, I didn't have that benefit. Guess who still does it?
I know, because I'm editing it all the time.
Yeah, I can write cursive. Yep.
Me too.
So... it's an interesting thing being our age. It's real fun. And it's real interesting. Just like I was talking to somebody yesterday and we were like talking about how, so-and-so, oh, they're so young. I'm like, oh, I know. Their birth year starts with a 2.
Nope. Immediately
I'm not
no.
old.
I'm so old.
18 years
So
ago to me is like 1990. No, actually, it's not.
correct. I had a conversation with one of our interns who's 21, and she asked me how long I had been with my husband. I've been with my husband for 20 years. She's like, oh, I was one.
Cool.
So there's that.
Yeah. And then I remember having a conversation with a different intern at a different time about like, oh, what was it like to found the company and how long has the company been around? Well, I founded the company before you were even thought of, and now I feel like fucking Methuselah.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thanks for that.
Listen, I started this company when I was 19 years old. I was always the young chippy. I am
Me
no
too.
longer the young chippy, and it's weird.
It is. It's weird. I spent a lot of my career being the young one, and now I'm not. Now I'm the old one.
At least I still look somewhat youthful.
Same.
So I'm going to hang on to that as long as I can.
It's good skincare.
Yeah, good sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I suppose we should probably put some meat on this bone and actually
Weird.
give them what they came here for. Thanks for listening to our bullshit, by the way. It's lots of fun for us, hopefully fun for you. So we are talking about how to bring it all together. First point I'm going to leave you with here for all of our actionable tips is you got to unify your messaging. You want to make sure, we said this before, this is a culmination episode, but you really want to ensure that your marketing and sales, they're on the same page, but more specifically, they're using the same language and they're using the same key points to create a consistent customer journey. So you got to understand what that looks like from hello to we just got married. And that has to be
Okay.
consistent language. You can't have your marketing be all like, maybe like bold and contrary, and then they meet the salesperson who's kind of like more academic and buttoned up. That's incongruous. It doesn't work. It needs to
Correct.
be consistent. So
Yep.
that's point one. Point two?
And uh, just another point, like maybe point 1B.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
I know, right? So, in addition to making sure it's consistent, and I want to be clear, not copy and paste, but consistent across your marketing and across the customer journey, you should make sure you're speaking your customer's language. I don't mean Spanish versus English, but also that would be helpful if they don't speak English to be speaking their actual language. But what I mean is what words, phrases, slang, terminology is already in their ecosystem that they
Mm-hmm.
understand. If you are selling to Gen Z, which God help you if you are, but if you're selling to Gen Z, there's a lot of slang that you need to be on top of, and you're probably only writing in lowercase. It's a whole thing, and you might be annoyed with it, like I am, but it's still the reality. You can both be annoyed and accept it as
Mm-hmm.
the reality. If you are selling to an older generation, if you are selling to boomers, it is very important that all of your punctuation, all of your grammar is incredibly correct. They probably also want two spaces behind the period, but that's a discussion for a different
Oh,
day.
warm the cockles of my old heart.
Right. But they don't want slang. They want to see what the benefit is. They are, if they're not already retired, they're coming towards retirement. It's a different set of circumstances, different interests. They are on different platforms. And if you go back to our episodes about ideal client, which is episodes 9 through 12, I really recommend you listen to where we talk about speaking your prospective client's language.
And we did a whole arc about avatars. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what their language is, if you specifically get really honed in on your avatar, which is a nice way of saying ideal client profile, if you get real clear about that, you can figure out what their language is and then make sure that you speak it consistently. So,
Okay.
anywho, you may be picking up there's a lot of value in all 72 of these episodes. Maybe go on and flip back and find them and bring yourself to marketing college without paying a dime.
Number 2 is to share your data and insights. I feel like I am a broken record here talking about objective data and metrics, and yet we are back here. Need to set up regular meetings between sales and marketing, and no, this can't be an email. It does need to be a meeting so that you can share the information, exchange the information, discuss it, analyze it, so everybody's on the same page. For the past number of episodes, we've talked about getting sales and marketing on the same page. This is one of those important ways of doing that. And then improving and adjusting strategies based on that information. Need to have conversations, meetings. Don't just send out a report and assume people will read it. They
Or
won't.
understand it.
Or understand it, correct. 100%.
Oh God, it's happening again. The intrusive thoughts. Linda Richmond. Talk amongst yourselves. Discuss.
A chick is neither a chick nor a pea.
Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss.
Exactly.
We're so old.
It's fine. This is fine.
But yes, discussion is really important because maybe you state one thing, in a way that's perfectly clear to you, but it's not clear to somebody else. People can actually ask good clarifying questions. Yes, meet in person or on Zoom or something, but just do it. Do it. Do it.
Oh my God. Okay. What is number 3?
What? I get punchy towards the last one. Leave me alone.
I know. Me too.
All right. So the last one was great. Number 3 is use automation wisely. I'm a huge fan of technology, automation. I love AI. I love tech, doodads, automation, big fan, all of it. You should leverage as much as you can to hand off leads at the right moment with all of the contextual information to the sales team that you can. Don't automate the whole damn thing because you're going to lose it. People, in most circumstances will want some humanity built in somewhere, especially if there's a higher ticket price to what you're selling. If it's a low ticket and you just have an e-commerce website, sometimes you can accomplish this with just like a little video or social content or whatever. But automation is such a good thing. Make sure that you have enough, not too much. You're really going for the Goldilocks zone here because not enough means you're going to drop things, information won't be passed through, you're going to lose data. That's bad. Yep. Or if you do too much, that's when you can possibly dehumanize the process and then you'll lose sales that way. So you have to find the right balance. You have to find your Goldilocks zone. But yeah, baby, use automation. Big fan. Yep. Use it wisely. Yep.
Agree. Number 4 is to measure the full funnel. Again, we're talking objective data. I love objective data. And in case you missed it, we've been talking about a sales funnel and a marketing funnel. So both of those things, like Laura said earlier, lots of juicy details in previous episodes. So I definitely recommend you go back and listen where we break all of this down even more. But in this instance, you really want to think about tracking the metrics from the first touch point. Could be that they liked a social media post. It could be an email. It could be an in-person conversation, etc., to the final sale. So all the way through the funnel to evaluate how marketing and sales together, not separately and not individually, contributed to overall success. What worked? What didn't work? What was the customer acquisition cost, which we talked about last episode? How long did it take? How many touch points did you need? What kinds of touch points, especially if it's your ideal client that you closed? All of that information is incredibly important. How else can you get them excited about your brand? What do you think the lifetime value of the client is? Could you have them be a repeat client, etc.?
Picture of mic drop.
Mic drop.
Mics are expensive.
A cost-free mic drop.
Yeah, there you go. So the last tip that I will leave you with is celebrating the wins together. We kind of alluded to this in the first 2 episodes of this arc, 69 and 70. But Party together. This is everybody's win. When you get a win, it's your marketing's win, it's your sales win, but it's also your operations win. It's your whole damn company wins, right?
Yep.
So highlight your successes that come, because what this does is it actually builds stronger team bonds. When people realize the impact that they make, they feel important because, newsflash, they are important, and people love to know that they've actually accomplished something. So let everybody know who played a part in the role, that they contributed to that. Now, our company, I'll pick on us. Every single person contributes to the success of this company. Every person here is incredibly valuable. So, a lot of the sales conversations originate, not all, but most, originate with me and Julia. And sometimes they originate with someone else on the team. That's
Yep.
fine. But do you know what else is important? Keeping our clients.
Mhm.
So when our staff does a good job, when they are kind to our clients, when they really lean in and listen carefully, when someone renews their contract with us, when they say, hey, this is wonderful, we love you guys, we get a great Google review. Like, that's a high five for everybody, because that was a huge team victory.
Yep.
And being able to create like a really awesome uh, team cohesion, man, that's irreplaceable. And when you get people to participate in the win, they're more likely to be excited about and go the extra mile for you when you need them to participate in creating another win.
Yep. Yep.
For
I
those of you who
can't
cannot see
over.
this, Julia is nodding with a lot of enthusiasm.
Yes, if you are watching us on YouTube, I'm sure you can see it. I cannot overstate the importance of retention, both with clients and staff, and the increased cost associated with trying to bring on a new client or a new staff person to replace somebody you didn't retain. And we've talked about that in past episodes, but I feel like it's worth beating the dead horse dead again to say not only is it so important in your bottom line of your company to focus on retention in addition to new sales, it's also a monetary and profit based smart decision.
For sure. Absolutely. So, thus concludes our 4 episode arc on sales versus marketing, or as hopefully now you have come to believe, it's sales and marketing. So, thank you so much for being a part of this with us. And much like the last 4 episodes ago, I don't know what we're going to be talking about in the next episode, so we get to find out together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being here. Please tell somebody about the show, share it with a friend. Let us know if you'd ever like for us to take a look at your existing marketing, no cost, no obligation, and in fact, no hard pitch, because that's gross and that's not what we do. So if you just want some help or just need somebody to talk to, give us a call. We've been at this for what feels like eternity, so we're kind of good at it, I guess. On that note, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.